Okay. Hey guys, Binja the Water Whisperer here. We're gonna do another round, 12 minutes. I'm just gonna get started. I've already got my Gymboss timer set up, and I'm gonna do the same 10 as I did yesterday. So we'll keep moving with this just to keep getting the joints warmed up, and then I'm gonna start adding new things that will increase your heart rate, but will also be good for joint mobility, making sure that you're getting blood to your connective tissues, your ligaments. Like I said in the last video, they just take longer to get the blood flow is less to them, so it just takes longer to get the same amount of like if you need to heal, or just they take longer, about 8 times longer than muscles to start to get stronger. So yeah, long story long. All right, we're starting off, we're just gonna do squats. Immediately right into squats. All right, that's 15, so we're gonna take a 15-second break. Next is just gonna be stretching. It's gonna be just stretching our hamstrings and our lower backs, kind of a bent over. You can bend your knees a little bit. If you wanna wrap your arms around your legs. Paddle your feet, straighten that back up. You can do kind of a tabletop, back down into this. If you can drop down into a kind of a lower squat, kind of like a baby squat, and then go back up. Put your feet together and do that. If you can sit on the ground, get yourself back up. That's a tough one. That's really tough. So don't feel bad if you can't do what I just did, where I sat on my butt and then came up. So take a break. So now we're gonna do stretching out these hip flexors. We're gonna lunge forward, knee on the ground. This time I'm putting my hand on the small of my back, and I'm kind of getting a stretch the opposite direction, holding on to that kind of that left hip, lower back, and then you can't quite see it as I'm twisting my upper body kind of to the other side. All right, we can come out of that. Take your time. Whenever I come out of this, especially right now when I'm first getting back into it, is I can feel that that tightness in my hips. It almost feels a little bit like it's getting outside of its comfort zone, and it almost wants to. All right, that's it for that side. Now we're going to go down into the T-Pushup, so you can stay down on the ground. So going back into a plank. I just did 2. my goal is to keep doing this on my own, get back into it, and then I'm gonna start doing I'm gonna probably get back into doing a little bit of powerlifting. There's a company called Guava Pass, which is similar to Class Pass in the States. And what you can do is you pay a fixed rate, and then with that you can basically choose whichever gym you want to go to within their kind of in their system. So now we're going to do a squat. Get down into that. Breathe into those back ribs. So yeah, this Guava Pass is similar to Class Pass in the States. And I did Class Pass for a while. In the States, really enjoyed it, especially when I was traveling around and I was working out and then showering. Usually I'd pick facilities that had showers because I was camping in my van. And I would just camp near wherever I was going to work out the night before. Camp there, just covert camping in the street, and then go to the class. Worked out really well. And you got to try a multitude of things. Like I could do yoga one day, you could do Pilates another day, do CrossFit another day. So it was fun to kind of change things up. And that was one of the places where I kind of got this idea of, having the week being like the Binja, the Body Whisperers, Marvelous 3D Across Fitness Program Z, and the 3D is that dinosaur, dragon, and donkey. So dinosaur being keeping yourself flexible and moving, so for longevity. Donkey doing something fun and different, and then dragon something intense. So downward dog. So we're getting back into that plank position, feet kind of hip width distance apart, and then getting down into that, paddle those feet, and then thinking about getting that butt up in the air, putting the shoulders, you're trying to relax the head, so no tension in the neck, but you're trying to get your head in between your shoulders as far as you can. But yeah, this Guava Pass, so I'm thinking about getting back into that. So what I want to do is spend this time getting back into it, just the timing, and then also just waking stuff up, so that when I get back into it, I don't get, joints are loose and the ligaments are warmed up, things are kind of like moving again, so that when I get back into it, if we're doing, powerlifting and such, that everything is okay to move in that way. So get into high knee. And it's fun too. What I like about it is, there was a time, and maybe it was more, I don't want to say, when I was like, I don't need a personal trainer. I don't need, you try and save money on not paying for a gym membership or something. And for me, what it does is motivates me, because I'm like, wow, I'm spending this much money on this gym membership. Well, I better use it, right? So for me, it's just paying it and saying I'm doing this. It just motivates me. But then also, what I find, kind of like this 12 minutes of working out, once you start it, this interval, it's coming. You're gonna, as long as you could just stand here for 12 minutes, I think you get benefit out of it in a way, if that makes sense. We're gonna do twist next, because you're gonna do something, and doing something is more than if you haven't been doing anything. So it's just those little wins, those little things. And I know a lot of times people think, you must work out crazy. I haven't for a lot of years. Sometimes I go in spurts. Maybe out of a year, or maybe out of a few years, I'll be like, okay, I'm gonna do this. I have a goal in mind, or a film project or something, and I have to. but for the most part, not so much. Because you also think about it in terms of like longevity. Like, let's say, like even a bodybuilder, those guys, like that's a lot of vasculature for a heart to support. Those guys weigh 250 pounds and they're fit and they're all muscle, but 250 pounds, yeah, that's a lot of like your heart has to pump to all that. So being that weight, we do Thera Band, being that weight is not, even if you're fit, that's a choice, that's a lifestyle choice. And you train heavy for a lot of your life, that's, you know, you need to do some, but at what point, you know, it's a system. And, you know, our joints are designed, like if you take care of them and maintain them, but it's not, you know, all the time. And being like competitive sports it's tough on people, you know. So where is that happy medium? If you're not being a competitive, like I'm not going to compete and make any money being a competitor. So, you know, those guys who play football, baseball, I mean, it's wear and tear on their body. I mean, that's one of the reasons why they get paid what they get paid. It's like their lifespan in the sport or whatever isn't that huge. And obviously they're genetically and just like, you know, right place, right time. They're kind of freaks of nature in their own whatever sport they're in. So now we're gonna do back to the hamstring stretch. You know, they're I'm gonna do the same thing and put the ball underneath there. You know, they're kind of freaks of nature within it. But what do you need to go for? Like, really? Like for me, you know, there was a time where it might have been for, you know, for different reasons. You know, for a role, for a sport, just where I was at. But now the way I look at it is, it's like, I know I'm not going to be as good as I was, let's say, 10 years ago. Oops, I forgot to switch again. That's okay, we'll just do a little longer one. I know I'm never going to be as good as I was, you know, but the potential I could be. And in some ways I feel like I am in better shape and know my body better than 10, 15, 20 years ago when I was younger. Obviously I have, you know, there's pains and stuff that weren't there before, but you know, that's kind of my job, is to keep it in check, to keep watching it. I don't have to get better, but in my mind, if I could maintain my physical, you know, fitness level the way I am right now, the longer I can maintain that, that's really what I'm trying to do. All right, so that's it, guys. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for joining me. Keep moving, people. Binja the Body Whisperer out.